Okay, let's install the DVD drive first, which is very simple. It only takes 2 screws because they have notches on the back side. Slide it in till it clicks. There'll be a little area where it seats in. Take 2 screws and bolt it down. Okay, let's pull these cables out of the way. Let's take our Antec 450 watt power supply. And let's set it in. Trying not to scratch anything. There we go. Make 4 screws. A little difficulty here because I can't see what I'm doing, so let's turn it up in the air here. Try not to damage front I/O. Okay. And once they're all started, let's go ahead and snug it up. And that's installed. Okay, let's start with all these connectors. Okay, I want to hide as much as I can behind this DVD drive, so we're going to start with the 24 pin because it's the largest. Go ahead and plug it in the motherboard so that so it's plugged in and out of the way. And that's not the way it goes. Sometimes I don't like these 24 plus 4. There we go. They're locked together in a specific manner. Okay. Now I believe these are going to have to go on top of our I/O connectors, or front panel connectors I mean. So let's go ahead and route them now. Starting with the front audio. What's really nice is for the power switch, power and LEDs and on the front panel is HP primarily uses ASUS motherboards, so the connector a lot of times will connect directly to the motherboard without no problems. front. Power and reset switch, or there is no reset switch, but. And one last 4-pin connector. I assume that's for the card reader. Okay, the power is going to have to come off again because it's going to have to go above the 24 pin. This is routed down, tucked away. I left an extra connector on here just in case somebody adds another hard drive. And I probably should have plugged this in first. Probably help by plug it in the right orientation there. Just like that. Plug it in. This 4-pin connector I extended. I don't know if you could tell, but it's longer than a standard ATX because of where the inverted motherboard tray puts the 4-pin connector all the way around here. So what I did was I cut it, spliced it, and soldered the connection so that I never have to worry about a bad connection. But I did have to extend it. So let's pull this back out because I don't like the way it is. I want more wire down there. I know you can't see well, but there's nothing I can really do about it. I have to see more than you do. Okay, that's routed to 4-pin. Nothing will interfere with that with the case cover because of the way this case cover installs. This would be one of the last. This is just an extra 4-pin Molex. You could just tuck in back here above the optical drive. This SATA connector connects to the hard drive and the front fan with the 4-pin Molex connector. So let me go ahead and plug in the SATA. Plug in the fan. Try to tuck some of this wire out of the way. Trying to keep my head out of the camera, but I'm having a hard time seeing also. Like that under there. And then last but least, the SATA connector for the optical drive, which I left 2 plugs on there because I didn't know if somebody wanted to add a SSD later or something, and this will allow that. Okay, and then last, front panel connector because it went over top of the 24-pin connector, and there we go. There's not much you can do with cable management on this computer because of the way it's designed, and there's no room behind a motherboard tray. Here, my camera shut off. There's no room behind the motherboard tray to really route cables, so There's not much I can do about it, but try to neaten it up the best I can. And look in here, I really don't have to use any tie straps because there's nothing to tie strap other than this right here. I'm going to go ahead and tie strap this up. I'll do that off camera though, because my head would just be in the camera if I try to do it right now. Here's our two SATA connectors. I have other ones coming in the mail specifically for this build that I don't have right now, but they're UV blue, and they're specifically what I need for the size of this. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, so 2 would be here. I want my optical drive on 2. And then 1 is right here. Here's my SATA cables. Let's go ahead and install the graphics card. I cut a slot out of the back for this. It's kind of a bugger to get in there, but it goes. No, maybe not so much of a bugger. There it is. Now the hole I drilled in the back, I tapped with a tap so that I can just run a screw in it and fasten it. Okay. This case was not designed for nothing with a PCI slot, so I had to do my own little manufacturing. But there we have it. We have the graphics card in. Everything appears to be installed, and I think all we got to do now is fire it up and see if it posts. Let me take a quick break and I'll be back, and we'll hook a monitor up and fire it up. Before I do that, let's just take a look around the case here. Everything is installed, everything looks good. Airflow for this will be good. Actually, on the front cover there's no fan in the original case. I notched this out with a Dremel so that it can pull cool air in the front without really standing out and seeing it. Let's see what the problem is here with the fan. Oh. And some appears to be in the way. Let's see what that is, and that is this fan spot right here. There's no guide hole. Take that out of there with a pair of clippers and snap it right in there. And she snaps in and holds. And there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, there it is. That makes it snap a little, or sit a little tighter. I may change this out to an LED fan. This is a static pressure fan. I have one, but I wasn't sure if it was just going to be too much light being so close to the window. It would just be glaring in your face. So after I power it up and stuff, I'll decide whether I want to change this fan out to a LED. But I believe with the LED in the power supply, the back, and the front in such a small area, I think it should light it up just fine. So let's take a short break, and I'll be back and let's post this up. Okay, let's turn it on. Now while this was on a test bench, I already installed Windows 8 on it. You know, when the motherboard and everything, I configured it all already. So it should just boot right into Windows 8. And there it is. Now I don't believe it's overwhelming with the LEDs. I'm probably going to switch this CPU 120 millimeter fan out to a LED fan and see what that looks like. But that's a complete build. I can send this off and start another one. And thank you for watching.